with the Georgia State Patrol, 20 years of service with the department. Really enjoyed it. I think what makes this class very unique is Dean Crisp's teaching style, frankly. He's very enjoyable, he's very personable, and he makes the class setting very personal as well. I find that very enjoyable. Some of the things that I've learned and I'm going to take away from this class is the different styles of leadership, and I'm particularly interested in the intentional and purposeful leadership aspects. Also interested in his model of leadership that includes leadership, relations, partnerships, and synergy, which I found very informative. We also discussed things about low morale and how to deal with that. Just overall, just a wonderful class. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorite classes.
My name is Cassandra Haynes. I am a captain of detention, admin, and operations with Burke County Sheriff's Office. I have been with the agency for 18 plus years. The most interesting thing is the aspect of inspiring our followers and growth. That's a big deal for me, providing structure and giving them insight on where they're going and what it is that we need them to do to get there. As a supervisor, we learn that there are things that are expected of us and we do that, but that's just the 40%. So in the position that I'm in now, I'm being pushed beyond that. So I'm learning to get to 100%, and so I'm going to inspire others to do that as well. What I like about the speaker, he engages the audience, he demands your attention, and he's providing information that we can use not just in the workplace but in our personal lives as well. So it's a broadband experience for me, something that I can use at every level. Overall, being in the position that I'm currently in and in the mode of growing, I appreciate the Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Williams, Chief Blanchard, Dean Crisp, everyone involved in this training, because this is one of the main things that I wanted coming into the new administration. That was one thing that was a big part of me being a supervisor, sergeant at the time, and just wanting to grow myself, not just as a supervisor, but for my own self, so that I could provide instruction and leadership for others to follow. Be an example. I'm one that believes wholeheartedly we have to be the example that we want to see in the world. So basically, it starts with us.
Jerry Blash, Captain, Burke County Sheriff's Office, 23 years of law enforcement experience. What makes intentional leadership and leading with a purpose training unique is how universal the topics are to leadership on all levels. What I would take from this class and this training and immediately use is how to be mindful and conscious of my own mindset when dealing with employees and other people. What I'd also take from it and use immediately is how to refocus employees when dealing with adversity or disappointment. I would highly recommend this training to any organization's management and executive staff, as well as lower level supervisory staff.
My name is Louis Blanchard. I'm a Chief Deputy here at the Burke County Sheriff's Office. 27 years of law enforcement experience. And I would just like to say what made this class unique was it was a great learning experience. He kept us energized and enthused during the entire class. And Dean does a great job of just getting the information out there while keeping everyone engaged. The two biggest takeaways for me are, number one would be, just because you can doesn't mean you should. There's a lot of things that we can do, but it doesn't mean that we should do in life. And sometimes we need to reevaluate those, whether it's a specific way of dealing with an employee or whether it's actually whether you could shoot someone in a situation out in the field. And those are things that we always need to constantly reevaluate. Another one is dealing with people. With the various age differences of the employees that we deal with, we do specifically have to deal with the new 21-year-old employee differently than we would with the 50-year-old employee. And there are things that we have to learn to adjust, and we need to learn to communicate better. And it's not just communication, because communicating with one employee means face-to-face, whereas communicating with another employee means text message to text message. We have to learn how to reach all of the employees to the best of our ability, and Dean does a great job of putting that information out there. Anyone who wants to better themselves needs to learn about leadership, whether you're in a leadership position or not, because we have plenty of leaders without rank. This class provides you with a vast knowledge of information that will benefit you regardless of your rank, and I would certainly recommend this class to anyone.
Sergeant Eugene Brantley of the Richmond County Marshal's Office, and I have 19 and a half years of experience. What made this class unique was the speaker was highly motivational. I think the class was well taught, it was well prepared, it was empowering, and very direct. The one thing that I took from this class that I would use in my everyday skills, or the one thing I would take back, is how to keep people focused and how to make sure the workers are focused on the job and the task at hand. I also think the course was very engaging. It keeps you wanting to know more and sort of learn more about yourself and how to become a more effective leader. I also think I would recommend this course for any other agency, regardless of whether it's law enforcement or just whatever particular workforce that you have. It's a very good class to be a part of, and it teaches you some things about yourself that would help you bring other people up to speed.
Michael Swint, corporal, and going on 15 years of experience. As a result of this class, the things I've learned, obviously, is going to help me in my career, and as a corporal, I'm over a couple people on my team. It's going to help me motivate them. I've learned how to, you have to inspire people to make them want to do better. You have to show them the overall picture. You have to be all in. That's one of the main things that Dean taught, be all in. A leader that's all in will inspire those around him to be all in, thus bettering the agency or the community. And honestly, more than this pertaining to my career, I'm going to be able to use it in my home life with my children. I'm going to inspire my kids. There's two different types of leadership, inspirational and manipulation. We all know with kids, we try to manipulate them into doing what we want them to do. But going through this class, if you inspire them, you'll get so much better results, and that's what I'm going to use in my home life as well. I would highly recommend this class to anyone in a leadership position. If you're available, take it. If you're not in a leadership position, still take it. Because like I said, it's not only going to help you in your career, it's going to help you in your personal life, in your home life, and just overall picture, it's going to make you a better person.
All right. My name is Lieutenant Lee. I work for the Burke County Emergency Management Agency, and I've worked there for the past 8 years. The live it, learn it, give it that he has mentioned is, I feel that's very apt, and one of those things that, while you may think about it, you don't really apply it, and this has really kind of brought it to the forefront of my mind so that I will apply it, as well as a mindset, talking about that, and making you realize just how much of a negative mindset can affect your daily performance.
I'm John Mosquera. I'm a captain for Burke County EMA. I've been working there for 14 years. What's unique about this class is the fact that it teaches you to bridge the gap from a more older generation of leadership and to do as I say type of mentality, and it teaches you about the younger generation that's coming up now and the different ways that they think and the ways that you may be able to approach them to lead them, to grow them into better leaders for tomorrow. Some of the things that I feel strong about applying immediately would be just approaching some of the younger generation of firemen and EMS people that I manage at this point in time, being able to bridge that gap once again using the different strategies that I learned today through this class. So,
awesome.
Good.
Lieutenant Tyson Eubanks, work for the Burke County EMA, been there for coming on 7 years now. Well, I really like he had a lot of good things to say yesterday, but today, just like that mindset what we were kind of just discussing the different generations and how to reach them, because as I was kind of born in that transition period because I was born in '85. So I was born a lot more traditional, but getting to see the change where computers were just starting to get used. Like the internet wasn't big, but it was new. And so I'm still kind of stuck on the old ways of doing things, and I got kids myself, and it's just a completely different, just trying to get through to them, just like you said, or like he said, just do it because that's what's right, it's what we told you to do. It just don't work. I mean, it is mind-boggling, just with kids, but just also with the community. Just a different way to have to think about something to reach people and actually get things accomplished. Like not having that knee-jerk reaction of when somebody asks why, and taking it as almost like a challenge to you. It's because, and again, I related it more to my kids because it kind of clicked in my head that it's because they want to learn, they want to know why. They're not challenging you, but they want to know. And if you shoot that down, it's like I tell you a couple of times before, they don't care anymore. So if you use that in the workplace, you can take a good worker, and when you just tell them to do something and not give them the reason why, at some point they're not going to care anymore. And like he was talking about, you'll get the process, but you're not creating a new worker a new leader coming up, or a good worker in that aspect. So that one really rung out. And then also kind of the shared expectations, especially in our department. I mean, I'm a younger lieutenant. I just got promoted. I work with a lot of guys who are older than me, have more years of experience, but are technically under me. And a lot of times you look at them and go, well, they've been here longer, so I shouldn't have to tell them what to do. That my expectation is that they're older, they've got their own families, they're an adult, but at the same time, you set yourself up for failure, because if you don't share that with them, then they're going to do what they want to do instead of what you expect them to do. And those two things kind of, I think for the last 2 days, that's kind of what stuck with me the most.